Welcome everyone on this new episode on Monday. Well, that was it. That was my enthusiasm. But at least I do have a sentence and a short explanation about our collective future, because why not? So, let's start with the upcoming episode. I created this list of sentences I would want to cover. And of course, you're welcome to comment your ideas about the upcoming things or make suggestions or whatever, but this is the sort of request session. So there you have it. I would not want to spend more time on these because who wants to know the future? So let's go on with this one, knives and spoons. And there is a lovely little proverb we can go over today because that's fun. I mean, for a Monday, what else? I mean, we could talk about other things about Hungary, but let's just do this one because this is fun. Right, so this clearly has a list of words. Let's try to decipher the words, although you might actually know them. Because the first one is the lovely knife, and then the second one is going to be a fork. And you'd think that the third one refers to spoons, but no, spoons for some reason are not very interesting in this case. So ollu is scissors. Remember, there is no plural when it comes to things with two legs or two parts in Hungarian. So trousers and things alike are singular. I have absolutely no idea why knives, forks and scissors and stuff shouldn't go into a child's hand though. I mean, this is pretty safe to me. I mean, what could go wrong? There is nothing that could go wrong. Oh, wow. I mean, forks. Well, I guess in hindsight there might be something that would go wrong. You can poke your eyes with this one, like that. This one too. Just, put 4 pokes into your eye. But I don't know what's not wrong with spoons then. I mean, if you can sort of poke holes with a fork, you can actually just, spoon your eye out, if you think about it. Oh well. To be honest, I think that this sentence raises way more questions than it answers. But who am I to argue with proverbs in Hungarian? They were invented hundreds of years ago, or well, some time ago, definitely not yesterday, and there is no way for me to argue with it. Still, I have questions, and there is very little amount of information out there. And I cannot alter the proverb, because that's not how proverbs work. So, whatever. Right, and what about this one? Is this part of the list? Well, I mean, I think that if we consider this as a list, that's a highly irregular way of thinking. I mean, how the hell do you put children in along with knives and things like that? Well, I guess maybe the opposite is true, but let's find out. It's truly a mystery at this point. Unless you already speak Hungarian, which means that it's not really a mystery to you. But let's leave it as a mystery for at least 1 more minute. Right, so 1 kid. And, well, technically this could refer to children in general, because Hungarian is not that sensitive about this as English, and we often use singular to talk about things in general. So instead of saying I like dogs, in Hungarian you would go I like the dog, but So in this case, let's go with children in general. Right, what about this one? Hands. But it's not this, not keys. And you might remember or might have some recollection about possessives. Let's find out whether I'm right or not. So this is singular because, like I said before, even though everyone has 2 hands, or well, most people have 2 hands, in Hungarian when it comes to talking about hands in general, we used a singular. So I assume that if we used a singular, in the suffix table you could find this a or a as the suffix for singular, and probably third person, and well, there you go, a, or in this case a, because ba, be, I'm referring back to the cube here, is into something. There you go. So into the hands of what? Well, in this case, into the hands, or one hand, of a kid. And because this is a general kid or child, and this is a general hand, it's a general hand of a general child. Alright, let's move on. I'm pretty sure that you must recognize nem, which is no, and volu. Well, that's, yeah, well. In this case, actually, volu is not to or true, like here, but a synonym for this, which is to fit. Now, fit can be applied to lots of different situations. For instance, I can fit into this t-shirt, which is great because I only have this t-shirt. Well, no, actually I have like a bunch of black t-shirts, which makes it worse because if I didn't fit into this one, chances are I wouldn't fit into the other same size t-shirts, rendering most of my wardrobe useless.
Well, this would admittedly be a disaster. An absolute disaster.
But I digress. My point is that this is not that kind of fit. It's the kind of fit that society would think this fits the situation. So in this case, general hand of a general child, the question is, should scissors and spoons and knives fit? According to not really the etiquette, although fit could be like that as well, but mostly does society think that it's good to put these things into a general hand of a general child? And the answer is no, it clearly says in the sentence, nem. So what the sentence actually means: knives, because English uses plural, forks, again, because of the plural, scissors, and of course, riddle me this. This is exactly plural. This is precisely plural, and that's plural. So many knives, many forks, and an unknown amount of scissors. Because this could be one or many. You would never say scissors is. But this is not an English lesson. However, I just wanted to point out a silliness of English sometimes. It's not that Hungarian doesn't have any sort of silliness. It's crazy on its own, and it's good. We should not give it ideas by influencing it more. To just let's leave Hungarian that and learn the rules and don't ask questions, because that might give people ideas. Right, anyways, scissors should not go into a child's hand. Yeah, so I guess if I really want to be precise about this, I could go like children should not use knives, forks, or scissors. Well, you know, right. Oh, there you go. I need to learn to spell.
And of course, as expected, the potatoes are already in the oven.
Oh well, wasn't that fun? I guess I shouldn't remind you that translations can differ. We didn't even use most of the words in there, or well, I guess we did, but we did alter the whole style of the sentence to fit English a little bit more. That's all there is to it though. There's nothing else I can talk about. I guess today's conclusion and my advice is that when it comes to Hungarian sentences, it's always worth going through it once, because unlike English, the order can be in any way. So the most important thing, the verb, I mean, assuming that English thinks it's the most important thing of the sentence, or the subject, that is definitely the most important in English. I mean, the two most important things that go in front of the sentence or in the beginning of the sentence might be at the end. or might be divided into several different words, because Hungarian is like that. And once you went over the sentence itself, identified all the words, found the translations, then you can actually start from the beginning again and try to collect words that are important to English. So in that case, it would be, oh, where is the subject? Let's go over the sentence. Then what's the action? Where's the verb? What sort of verb would I use in English? And then the object and the place and time and things like that. So creativity and of course the love of any particular language usually helps. And I see it quite a lot with people who are forced to learn a language, mostly English, because it's a good business investment, but they want to be quick about it. But there is nothing quick when it comes to learning languages. There is nothing possibly quick about it. You just need to take your time and then analyze each sentence, and especially in the beginning, each sentence will be vastly different. And then you will start to recognize patterns. Of course, it's worth learning the grammar and worth learning having some vocabulary and things like that. Yeah, sure, but I'm talking about beyond that, what expectations you might have when it comes to learning a language. I'm not saying you should have those expectations, but for me it worked pretty well, and for my students it usually works pretty well, because sometimes we do have higher expectations when it comes to learning a language than we should. So that's about it for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this lesson, and I'm back and all that sort of crazy things. You know me, how enthusiastic I am and how emotional I can get when it comes to these episodes and people liking them and things like that. Highly emotional. Indeed. But the truth of the matter is, I do like that you like the videos, so keep the likes up and don't forget to comment and check out the document because it's useful. Also, now you can comment on it, so I know what problems you encounter usually. You can comment a topic or a sentence, but please be a little bit more specific, because commenting that I'd like to know more about the geography of Hungary is fantastic, but I would rather have a comment of a place, because the geography in Hungary would probably fill about 6-season TV series, each episode being 1 hour or something. Anyways, bye-bye.
Oh yeah, just a quick note before I leave you to whatever you usually do. I won't be here tomorrow, so you will actually have to wait until the day after tomorrow for a new episode. I know, it's terrible, but you will get through it. I trust you.